Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Do you want to know what I started? Were you here yesterday? If you watched yesterday's video, oh my goodness, you know what I'm talking about. If not, let me go ahead and explain it. I went to a class today at my local yarn store. Now, I went to cheer on the other participants, okay? I wasn't actually taking the class. I wanted to make something different than what they were making. They were using this yarn. So I have on my pretty yellow necklace, right? You know, there you go. They were using this yarn and different colors, lots of different colors. I picked out all of these. I know this had 7. That means I'm on my 3rd ball of this one, right? You know, but yeah, what are we going to do with this? And this yarn is Zauberball. It's a 100% wool yarn, 437 yards in all 7 of those little tiny balls, right? Because it's 100 grams. That is spectacular marketing because you know this thing has 14 ends if you use it, right? Beginning and end of each ball. 14, as opposed to a long striping gradient that takes over 100 grams, right? So total marketing. That's okay. I got it. But, you know, I've got a lot of ends I have to weave in. That's okay. We don't mind, do we? We can do this. So do you want to see the pattern? Now, I did have the the choice to make the lovely shawl that my friends were working on. Look at this. Look at that. And it was enjoyable. There were, let's see, six women all together, to include myself, and working on different projects. The person who was instructing, and then the person who was minding the shop. And, you know, I was not working on the exact same pattern, so, you know, I was not questioning or anything, right? But look at that. So they were working on that. And my friend, one of my friends, she's using those colors right there to make hers. So that was pretty wonderful. I am not the only one who picked up that first with the yellows right here. And it started with the white and everything. And there's 7 balls. Like I said, I'm on my 3rd ball of that. So, you know, there was lots of choices, a lot of choices. And I wanted to play along. And I wanted to do a crochet shawl. Now, my friend down in the comments, she's like, go do knitting. It'll go farther, which is true, right? If I knit something with that yarn, with the 2 rings of it, it would go farther because it's like 870 some odd yards of 874 yards of yarn. That's a lot fingering weight yarn if you're going to knit it. It really, really is. You can make a lot. I'm not as familiar 100% with crocheting because I haven't been making as many crocheted shawls, which again isn't true because I finished a couple crochet shawl this year and I haven't finished a knit one. So why do I keep saying that? Weird. So I was looking through different things and we had that one obviously as a choice. That is not the one that I picked up. Let me see if I can find the other one. The other one was Porcelain Berries that I think I showed you. Yep, if I can spell it, then Ravelry can find it for me because I didn't have that one up. I don't know why, but whatever. Okay, so this one was really pretty, and I have done this pattern in the past, and it is really, it's a big triangle. It really is. It's just a big triangle, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So last night, that's what I was wanting to, you know, kind of waffling back and forth, and then I went on Ravelry, down the Ravelry, you know, hole, so to speak, and yeah, I lost like an hour or 2 last night just surfing through all the patterns. And then I went into my bookshelf and started grabbing some 1980s crochet magazines. Oh yeah, 1980s. They were mine originally and they're still mine, right? So looking at some of the different patterns, right? So, because vintage is in, right? And it wasn't vintage then, but I've got some favorites that I made when I was younger that I could adapt with this yarn and do a gradient, right? So I mean, I was having fun looking at all sorts of things. Got a little bit of trouble because I want to start another top. I resisted. I don't think my husband would be appreciative because, you know, I still have to fix the neckline on his sweater. So I resisted that. But I did find, and this is the one that I settled on. Come on, Ravelry, come on. Really? Are we really going to play that game? Are we playing that game now? Yeah, we're playing that game. I have the tab open. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to show you that. There's the open tab, right? That's helpful. My stuff's been doing that lately. Oh, here we go. Got it. Look at this. So this is, the pattern is called Laura, and it is by Lily Go, and she is amazing. So this is a stunning crochet pattern. I think so anyway. And you start from the side, one side, and you go all the way to the other side, right? So I was looking at going light to dark. Yeah, I thought that would be kind of nice. And it has parameters, you know, for, you can make a small, medium, or large shawl, right? You know, lots of different choices. It does have beads in it. I'm not putting beads in mine because, well, I didn't think about it, didn't have them, right? But that's what it looks like with the beautiful one color. And let me get this one to pop up. Come on. I think what it is my iPad's a little old and it doesn't want to cooperate. But look at that. And you can see the beads are on hers. So I'm not going with the beads because, again, I just started it. I started mine in the same time period that everyone else started theirs. And look at this. Okay, so this is not showing the pattern itself. It's the schematic. Okay, so we can see the schematics right there. You've got a small, medium, and a large. I'm doing the medium, and you can see where it says part A here on the corner, and you got 2 scallops on it. That's where I'm at. Yeah, I got 2 scallops because you work the border as you go. How cool is that? So that way you don't have to go back and you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I didn't save enough yarn and now my border's not done. I've got to find the yarn if they make it still, or buy a whole nother skein when I only need like 12 yards, right? You know, so it is nice as far as that goes. I weighed both of my rings of yarn, so I'll know where when I hit to the center point. And there we go. That is obviously the short side right here, and working into that longer side. And you can see I've got the 2 scallops here, and I am on my 3rd color ball, which is this one. So I started off with that white, the light white to the yellow. It's getting a little bit brighter on that. Isn't it pretty? So it's going to be, you know, just like that. Isn't that just stunning? I mean, oh my goodness. That is gorgeous. And then I throw, so with this, I know it's so pretty. It looks like a bib right now. You know, that is so pretty. What's nice about this is, if you'll notice, I have that color, which is that bright yellow, and this one is the same yellow, right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But they're going to be back to back. That's going to happen. So, that's how that's going to go. My next one's here, 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 until I get to just the solid yellow. And then I'm going to go yellow and then all the way around to where I get to black. That's my goal on that one. So that right there is going to be the center. These 2 are going to be the center back of the shawl. And the way that it's written, let me expand this to where we're just seeing the one that I'm working on, right? So that's the schematic. And the way that it is written, if you wanted to do more or less in the center, you know, because the smaller one has like 3 bumps here, and then this one has 5, right? So you can, depending on your yarn, you make that repeat again and, you know, have that scallopy edge out there. And you can make it as long as you really wanted to, or whatever your yarn is that it's going to, you know, let you do that. If yarn saving is a constraint. But I do like that option. So I have that available to me to where I can use up pretty much all of my yarn. This says for my size, it's like 700-ish yards of yarn. And we know I've got over 800, like 874, something like that. So I've got plenty to do that. So I have a choice. I can keep it the medium size and only use 1 ball of this yellow. I'll know at that point, you know, how far my little balls are getting me once I get to that level. But use 1 ball to where I can actually get to that black a little bit more. Or because I've got over 100 yards more than what, you know, to use all of my yarn, more than what the pattern says I should use, I might put another scallop on there. Now, the interesting thing on that is visually, we like odd numbers. Okay, that's why if you look at this schematic, we've got 3 in the very center here, and then the medium, we have 5, and the large, there's 7, right? So it's one of those things that I can't explain it, but it is one of those true things that we tend to look at and gravitate towards those odd numbers like that. Gives it, I don't know, you have a center point. I don't know. I don't know. So I don't think I'd have enough to go from the 5 little scallops to 7, but I might have enough to go from 5 to 6 and use up more of that, because I'd really like to have the black on the one end and I've got the white on the other end, and use all of it. I mean, why not use all of it, right? I don't need these extra little balls of yarn. I'm gonna already have a bunch of ends to weave in, you know, might as well just use every bit of it, every bit I can, and have fun with it. So that was my choice to make this particular sweater. I'm really enjoying it thus far. And here's the picture of it done again. And you can see that I've got these nice, and you can see where the beads would go. The beads would go in the center right here if you chose to put beads in there. I'm not against doing beads at all. I just picked this pattern last night, so I didn't have that on hand, and I wasn't about to try to go drive to Joann to see if they had beads that I liked and then get back to the yarn store. And, you know, I mean, it's just too much hassle. Just enjoy what I've got. Truthfully, we know I most likely won't keep this. I mean, that's just how that works. I'll wear it, maybe. I'll make it, enjoy it for what it is, have fun with it, and we'll see. There are definitely other things that I didn't think I'd keep, and I've definitely kept on to. But I know that's just how that works. I make things because I enjoy making them. I'm like a process crafter. I'm going to be crafting. Let's put it that way. I'm going to have my crochet hooks out or my knitting needles out, and I'm going to be making something most of the time. And when I'm just not up to making something, I'm holding the yarn. I just, you know, even if I'm in an off mood, and not necessarily a bad mood, but you know how sometimes your energy is off or something like that? So if my energy is off and just, you know, nothing's really wrong, but I'm not grabbing onto the yarn, hubby's like, go touch your yarn, it'll make you happy. Just go touch your yarn. He knows. It's kind of like a grounding, right? You know, I mean, the best thing is grab your yarn, go out in your yard. If you actually have a yard with grass, right? Go out in your yard and everything and put your feet in the grass and everything. It's like, oh, how much more grounded can you get? You've got your yarn that you're playing with and you're literally on the ground. I mean, that would be pretty amazing. I think that'd feel pretty good too. You know, depending on where the sun's at and everything, how much it's beating down on you, that would be amazing. That would be a lot of fun. So I might try that. Most of the time when I think about it, it's too hot, right? Just a little bit too much. Yeah, I think that does sound like fun. Anyway, that's what I've got going on. This is what I've started making. Here's my, let me see if I can hold all that stuff up again. Look at that. So I've got my shawl and I've got my yarn, right? I mean, how fun is that? That is so cool. And working on that, oh, is this a free pattern? I don't think so. Let me see. I don't remember. It's been in my library forever, and I don't know when okay. So it is $6 on Ravelry currently. Yep, that's what it says. It's $6 US currently. I've had it for quite some time, so I don't know if at one point she had one of those introductory sales on it. It's been in my library for a lot of years. When was this released? Let's see. Does it say? This particular pattern, 2012, published November of 2012, and I think I've had it for about that long. I really have. It's one of them that's been on my list to make. Yeah, I don't think I've made this one. There's definitely some that I've made and I'll gravitate back towards, you know, even if it is a decade ago, which is the weirdest thing to think that was a decade ago. It's like, no, Lily Go is amazing. Go check her out. She's wonderful. She's got some fantastic projects and everything else. And it's like, what, was that really that many years ago? Was that really 12 years ago? I swear there's like a missing decade, right? You know, I mean, I don't feel old enough to be old, right? I just know. I don't feel old enough to think that that's many years ago. I don't feel old enough to think that 2000 is 24 years ago. What? I mean, you know, and then when people talk about, oh, in the 80s, and I'm thinking like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, right? You know, 85, 80s, you know, that type of thing. And say, no. You got to count from the year it is, not count from 2000. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, I'm in denial. It's a thing. It's a thing. But I don't think this generation is aged to the same degree as past generations. Let me know what you think on that. I've been reading a lot on that. It's kind of one of those confusing things that grandmas, I'm a grandma, right? Grandmas don't really necessarily look like grandmas, and grandpas don't necessarily look like grandpas and stuff. We don't act like it. I don't know. Maybe it's part of being Gen X. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go because I've got lots of stuff that I have to do. I drank a lot of coffee before getting on here, and I can tell that the speed of my voice is just picking up, and I'm going to sound like an auctioneer pretty quick. So I will spare you that, and I will say, you guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.